For the last 700 nautical miles, we've been bashing our way south into strong headwinds on our way towards the Southern Ocean. The last time we saw you, we'd just pulled into Rottnest Island. We've just arrived at Rottnest Island. It's like 2:30 in the morning. It was another lengthy and harrowing trip down the brutal West Australian coast. I think these last 50 miles is going to be a bit of an endurance event. So we're getting a bit smoked at the moment. The last couple of months of sailing to windward has taken a toll on the boat, but probably more so on us.
This west coast is just...
It's a piece of work, eh?
Ah, it's a piece of work.
So, as we approach the civilization of Perth, we're looking forward to recharging our batteries, as well as making a few upgrades to better prepare Nakama for the next leg of our circumnavigation of Australia, where we'll be taking our 34-foot sailboat around the bottom and into the Southern Ocean. The lap around Australia continues. We're heading further and further south. However, before attempting that next challenge, we've just woken up after sleeping in a very soggy boat.
Good thing the bilge pump's working hard this morning. Look at this bilge pump. Best looking bilge pump I've ever seen.
Which means, first thing this morning, we've got a lot of things to hang out to dry before we venture ashore in search of an animal that's bound to lift our soggy spirits.
Look at it. Bit of wet stuff, babe?
Oh, you know, just a couple. This is like our after sailing routine at the moment.
Got a few leaks to fix, don't we?
It's been a bumpy and soggy ride, but conquering these conditions always makes the celebratory drink taste that much sweeter and even more refreshing, which of course we're beelining it for. Civilization, eh?
We were just saying, it just feels so safe and nice after what we've been through, but chances are we'll probably get hit by a car or something now we're on land, but it feels nice and safe. I wonder if there's even cars here. There must be. Anyway, that was a random side thought. Is there even cars here for us to get hit by, or are we truly safe? Could get attacked by a vicious animal. There's some like wild beasts on this island. We'll show you if we find one.
Rottnest Island, or Rotto, as the locals refer to it, is only 12 miles offshore from Perth, so it's a little bit more civilised than some of the other islands we've been to lately. It's perfect for a weekend getaway, boasting pristine beaches and terrifying fluffy animals.
So, these are the beasts that we're worried about here. You're not meant to pat them because they're a wild animal, but it's so tempting to pat this little thing. It looks so fluffy and nice, like a little cushion.
This is a quokka.
Look at it. They'll get you though, you gotta be careful. They'll rip your leg off.
Bye! I never knew these cute little fluffs that hop around existed until arriving here. You're not a big beast, you're really cute. You'll find them in only a small area of Australia's southwest, but here they come in thousands. Look at his little arms! They are wild animals, so you're not meant to touch or feed them. But much like a seagull, these guys know where the food is at, and not even a door with a no quokka sign will stop them from entering. While they might nibble on your toes in attempt to scare a chip out of your hand, luckily these guys don't drink beer because I don't think we'd be happy to part ways with a single drop of this.
Pretty exciting. We got hot chips and cold beer.
Cheers, guys. Not gonna lie, the thought of getting our hands on these hot chips has helped us to keep powering through some of the more testing moments of late, and they're truly living up to expectations. This is exactly what we needed. But chips aren't the only exciting thing on our Rottnest agenda. Alrighty, let's go pick up this passenger of ours. We're picking up one of Slim's best mates that's hitching a ride across on the ferry. I don't think we've ever actually had someone on board sailing for a sail before, apart from my family.
Yeah.
But like, you know, friend, it's exciting, it's a good day. It's a good day for it. It's windy today actually, but you know, good day for a sail.
Oh, I had to pee. Get off. I'm like scrambling to go the opposite direction.
This is Jonah, and if you've been following us for a while now, you may recognise this larrikin from our time on Fitzroy Island, where he also got a ferry out to meet us.
Afternoon.
Or when we sailed into the Torres Strait Islands to meet him.
Thanks, Doctor.
Jonah is doing a bit of a circumnavigation of his own, flying his way around the country, working as an ER doctor in remote hospitals. And he's just taken a job in Perth. So we're here to sail him to work.
We've collected the new crew, back to the mothership. I'm flying, Jack! I'm flying!
Jonah, have you ever been sailing before?
I have not.
Really?
Have
I
you?
don't think so.
Oh my god!
I think this will be my maiden voyage.
A maiden voyage. How long have you been preparing for it?
Oh, you know, I just had a good 30 seconds of knot tying tutorials with Simon, so I think I'm
Learn from the best.
Ready to go.
We've learned from the best, I'll tell you that much.
I might start tying my sutures off at the hospital.
Alright, that's it.
into it,
Next
eh?
thing Jonah needs to do is lift the anchor for us.
Yes, which obviously I know how to do.
Yeah.
We're making the final couple of miles to Perth today. So once we've suited Jonah up with the official captain's hat,
We bestow it upon him.
Oh,
It's a real one, it's covered in engine grease and everything.
we will be on our merry way. Alrighty, Rottnest Island to Fremantle, heading into the marina today. Pretty excited for a hot shower, not gonna lie. It's only about 10 miles over there, so just a couple of hours, a nice little hop. It's actually kind of windy. We're sitting on about 18 knots, so we'll probably have a reef in. Hopefully it'll be not too bad out there for Jonah.
Time to go, skipper!
Time to go?
Time to go. That's so we're facing pretty much dead bang into the wind right now, so you should be able to start going and I can tail. Yep. Yep. Initial thoughts, go.
I feel like I need to go back to university to learn how to sail.
Yeah.
You could do a whole degree in it. But I'm loving all the names.
The names are fun, hey?
Yeah, what was it called? The schlubber?
The schnubber.
Schnubber.
It could be a schnubber. Sitting on it.
Yeah.
Well, you reckon the skipper? I mean, not the skipper today, actually.
Yeah.
Jonah is.
This guy.
We continued to put Jonah to work. And I hope he didn't have any ideas about champagne sailing, because we are about to get blasted while weaving through heavy city traffic. While Slim gave Jonah his first ever sailing lesson, I did my best to keep us sailing in the right direction. It's definitely a whole new feeling for us having crew aboard, as we're so used to it just being the two of us. But it is a welcome change to be sailing with some company.
We're keen on hot showers and we're keen on flat nights sleep. Unlimited groceries, fresh things. There was a supermarket there, but you had to like sell your kidneys. Yeah, we got eggs, a couple $4 tomatoes or something. So, it'll be good.
I am the captain now.
Yeah.
The captain that sits back and
Yeah,
does as he's told.
Yeah. We can see masts like poking up in the distance. We're getting close to the marina. The AIS is like twinkling away like a little Christmas tree with boats in there. Jonah's ready to get his land legs back. He's been out here for months.
It was only a quick jump across, so after what felt like Jonah had only just put up the mainsail and successfully performed his very first manoeuvre, the classic tack,
Oh, I am the captain now.
It was already time for him to learn how to put the sails away. And the most important lesson of all, I thought this was the perfect opportunity to teach Jonah exactly what not to do when coming into a marina.
These guys are excellent!
We've now sailed over halfway around Australia, and it's crazy to think that coming into a marina was the closest call we've had to putting Nakama onto rocks.
If we got slammed against those rocks, it would have been catastrophic basically for Nakama. It wouldn't have been friendly. And it was just like, are you kidding? We've come this far and we're just trying to park in a marina. We're now like 3/4 of the way around Australia, and
So this was the situation. We were given a berth alongside this wharf here, and were told that we'd want to have our bow facing out to sea and into the prevailing wind, which makes sense. But we were also told there would be enough room to swing Nakama around in this space here. So we made our merry way down here and into this space. However, with a 25 knot southwesterly howling straight through here, when it came time for us to swing Nakama up into the wind to come alongside the wharf, we got stuck in a sticky situation. It was just a really bad situation that we've never really found ourselves in, to be honest. We just got completely stuck, and we honestly thought our trip was going to end with us sitting on the rocks out the front of Fremantle Sailing Club. We had like 25 knots of wind up our butt, and there wasn't enough space to like build up momentum to get her bow back around and into it. Basically, we couldn't swing Nakama around into the wind, as it was mightier than our speed turning in the tight space. Because of this, we were now caught beam onto the wind, which is about the worst possible situation, as with nowhere to go forwards or backwards, we were now being blown towards these rocks in front of the sailing club.
But we're floating sideways down this finger, trying to get enough steerage to be able to turn and go any direction. Like, we're just sideways, like in a column with nowhere to go, and we could not get Nakama around because every time we tried to turn, the wind was there. But what was at the end of this finger and what we were floating towards was the glorious, beautiful Fremantle Sailing Club and the rock wall in front of it.
The best way out of the situation was to reverse. Luckily, I had Simon and Jonah on board that fended me off. We actually didn't hit any boats, surprisingly. Fended us off like a couple of big motorboats.
Yeah, just the inability to maneuver. Like, boats take a long time to maneuver, and even when, if you're familiar with it, like even when you try and click it in reverse, you've got like all the other momentum to contend with, and everything happens slowly. And I think what actually saved us was almost crashing into these motorboats, and me and Jonah could run forward and just push off these motorboats as hard as we could.
With Slim and Jonah acting as human bow thrusters, we managed to swing Nakama's butt into the wind just enough to peel away from the piles and motorboats, where we then reversed all the way back out to take a breath and collect our thoughts. In our travels, we saw another free berth that looked more accessible, so we got the all clear to head into there. But even then, it wasn't pretty. And we're in this random berth where we're not meant to be. Even getting into this berth was a little bit sketchy and hairy, and we hit that pole there and that pole.
Nakama's got a little bruise on the side of her from yesterday's escapades, but you can't sail around Australia without bumping into like a few poles, I don't think. Like, it's a badge, you know what I mean? Wear it like a badge of honour.
While we spent the night in this berth, unfortunately we can't stay here, so this morning with the wind now eased, we have to throw the lines and try again with our designated berth. This time I'll be reversing in so we can just simply kick Nakama into forward gear to come alongside this wharf, which thankfully all went according to plan. Alrighty, we're in our new spot. That all went very smoothly. Feeling a little bit better about myself and my manoeuvring capabilities of the boat. This is us. This is us in Fremantle now. So, Fremantle. Now that we've officially made it in, and before we start cracking on a few boat jobs, it's always good to get our bearings and take in some of the surroundings of our new location. Fremantle is a beachfront suburb and the port of Perth, known for its Victorian-era architecture and maritime history. After delving into the Batavia story back at the Abrolhos Islands, it's so surreal to think that so many people's lives were lost here. We couldn't wait to check out the Shipwreck Museum here, where you can see a portion of the Batavia's reconstructed stern, as well as the stones it carried as ballast all the way from Holland, which they intended to use to construct an arch in the city of Batavia, alongside the cobblestones for the streets. Once again, the brutality of the shipwreck really hit home, with this skeleton found in a shallow grave with a sword wound to the skull. Cannons and treasures, we had an epic time exploring here, but with more maritime history on the agenda, we went to lay eyes on the famous vessel Australia 2, which, after implementing a revolutionary keel design into the vessel, made Australia the first nation to take the America's Cup win from the Americans after 132 years of competition.
Across the line, they make a final move.
It would have been a bad day to be a beer in Australia. We also admired the vessel of local legend John Sanders, who for some crazy reason decided to complete an unassisted and non-stop triple solo circumnavigation of the globe. This display of his vessel depicts the angle he was on the face of a wave while rounding Cape Horn. His drogue was at the crest of the wave, which you can see all the way up there at the ceiling. And you'd think we'd had enough of boats, but there is a certain bar we couldn't miss for its old maritime atmosphere. Entering through thick leather drapes, this bar transports you back in time and below the deck of an old tall ship, with ropes hung on the wall, whiskey barrels and free peanuts as long as you throw your shells on the floor like a true pirate. It's nice to take a break from being on the move, and even get the opportunity to hopefully inspire some young minds that in today's world, studying remotely after high school is an option.
So we can be absolutely anywhere now and do it.
And talk a bit about the art of filmmaking and what goes into making it a reality behind the scenes. This thing will capture the whole room. This has probably received quite a lot of sea spray and waves over the top of it, and I think it's still hanging on.
Drones, we go through these things like, what's the terminology? Butter on top, I don't know.
I will need to fly back to the East Coast to complete a brief placement as part of my degree, which means Slim will be left alone on the boat to get started on some upgrades and boat jobs in preparation for the Southern Ocean.
Okay, welcome to Slim Does Boat Jobs by himself, filming on one camera that Soph will do our best to edit, but if there's a little bit of dodgy in here, it's nothing to do with her, it's probably what I've given her to work with.
But before I shoot off, it's always great to put a face to the names of some of the lovely folk from our Patreon community whose generosity helps enable us to produce these videos for everyone to hopefully enjoy.
I love this because it's recording the whole time. Alright, Peter, come round side. Next to Soph there. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, and then everyone take a step to your left without stepping in the water.
Left?
Oh, left.
Maybe you might need to
Everyone has to say, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Say cheese because it's a film. Cheese! Speaking of our patrons, we've got some really exciting news. You can head over to the Patreon website. I know not all of you check it all the time, so we thought we'd remind you here that we've just dropped our first ever merch release, which we're really, really excited about after months of testing different brands and stuff like that. We're finally super stoked with the end product and super stoked to be able to release it to you guys for pre-order. We'll be doing some men's shirts, some women's shirts, a hoodie and this hat. The hat design is a rendition of when Miles stitched into a straw hat SB Nakama for me back at Cape York, the tip of Australia, for my birthday. That hat's long fallen apart and gone, but this is a little rendition of that. And then this design here that I'm wearing, Soph actually made over some time by digitalising Nakama's original build plans, which is really quite cool. We think so. We think so. And yeah, it's available for pre-order for our patrons as a way of just saying thanks for your ongoing support, basically each and every week. So we're using you as our guinea pigs for the merch line. They'll be available for pre-order probably for another week or so, and then we'll send them to print. They'll be made here in Australia by us. Mostly we'll just probably be assisting, but we are going to be a part of the process. I don't think they'll completely give us free roam, but yeah, we're going to be doing it with a local print shop here in Australia, just because we'd rather produce something quality than crap from China. Please head on over and check it out if you're interested in grabbing yourself some merch. And yeah, thanks patrons for making this whole thing possible. You guys are legends. And for everyone that's watching still at this point, thank you so much. Really, really hope you enjoyed the episode. And yeah, hope you enjoyed what it's like for us when we come into Civilisation, which doesn't happen too often. So we'll see you next week. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button before you click on the next video. Thanks guys. Bye.